The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us. Yes.
Is on again, still historic run of baseball.
Is it leading all offensive categories?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was something, a thing I saw was like total bases, and it was like Aaron Judge, and then like 40 bases lower was Shotani.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Shotani. And then like another 30 places in somebody else.
That makes sense, yeah.
But I don't know if he's still over 400. Let's see. Let's take a gander. But he is,
It's fascinating because like what that means is that Boone's figured out at least who to hit around him.
Well, I mean, it also helps that, like, yeah, we don't have Soto anymore, but, like, you can put any one of Goldschmidt. There's a whole Ben Rice, Jazz. Like, there's so many. DJ LeMahieu, now that he's back
up, yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of guys that you can hit around him. And, you know, thank God he hasn't put him in leadoff. Fucking moron. Although Boone has cost us games. I love soccer. He's cost us games because, man, it's just, how are you a big league manager and not know how to work your relief pitchers?
It's
like, how does that happen?
I don't know.
Is it the notebooks these days? Is it the minutia of stats?
I mean, in the case that you're talking about with Boone, yeah, I would say that. It's that they're going, like, they're looking at matchups. And
it's fucking stupid. I hate it.
And I would say is that, well, I get that, yeah, I mean, I have to fucking eat a ton of crow this year because I figured the Cardinals manager was going to be losing them games left and right, like I kind of saw in spring training.
He's playing for his next job.
Yeah,
or managing for his next job.
But what's fascinating is that I will say, like, Marmol doesn't seem to be running off of notebooks and charts anymore. It's like if the pitcher's pitching well, he leaves them in.
This motherfucker pulled Max Fried, who went 7 1/3 of one hit ball.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a couple of walks, but it doesn't matter. It's a shutout, one hit.
Yeah.
And pulled him after 7 1/3.
Yeah.
For a shaky at best bullpen. Like, you know,
that's where
the mid-90s Yankees, cool, you could do that, but only because you had, like, a bridge guy, a setup, and a closer.
Well, it's also one where, and I'll say this, is like that's where I think like the Cardinals have shown, and again, I got to give Marmol credit, which hurts my fucking soul. But
again, last year.
No,
he's a lame duck president at this point.
No, I mean he's got one more year on his contract.
Come
so,
on, bruh.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean he's coming in under new leadership in the front office. So, I mean there is credence to what you're saying. It just. But at the same time,
we've all seen this movie play out before.
But like, you know, that was the problem last year. Was like starting pitching was shaky, middle bullpen was okay, and then our closer was fine, and Ryan Helsley, and he's fine this year.
Yeah,
but
good, Devin, what's his face is.
But even in games where like the Cardinals are getting rocked, like. Marmol's like, you know what? We're just going to ride the starter out. Like, we're going to make sure he gets at least 5, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then what that does to your bullpen in total
in the long
is
run,
insurmountable. Like, and that you're not, you know, you don't, I have yet to hear, I mean, there probably has been like 1 or 2, but again, Cardinals, when they lose, they're not losing by blowouts this year.
No, the Yankees.
And, yeah.
See, that's what the Yankees are doing.
I mean, even when I think like yesterday the Dodgers was one of the closest ones, was like 7-2, but that's still like
you still took 2 or 3 from them, right?
Correct, yeah.
We lost 2-3 to the Red Sox. Jesus.
I mean, we
At
shut
home.
them out Friday night.
Yep.
We won
Walked them off
2-1 Saturday, and it was 7-2. So yeah, or you could say like happy flight if it was a road, but yeah, series win. But the point
We
is
talk
like
about it all the time. Win them fucking series, especially against the guys in front of you.
even in that 7-2, I don't think the starter came out until like the fourth or fifth, and then that way you're not like it's not like consecutive games where you're running through your entire bullpen, which those guys are, for either whether it's their fault or it's the organizational baseball. Bullpen guys are divas now. Like they can only run so many. It's not like the old day, like Bruce Sutter or even
That's what I'm
Rivera, where you were out every single
Even your
day.
setup guy
Yeah.
was out there every
Yeah.
fucking day. Was it yesterday's game? Where starting pitcher kept us in the game. Yankees were winning, and then like the fifth, sixth inning, Boone makes this change, and then we proceed to give up like 4 runs, 2 runs, 2 runs, and
Yeah.
then lose 7-4 type shit.
Which is, and then, it depends on what the, post-game analysis was. But, like, I could very well see Boone being like, well, we're going to bring this guy in to see if he can work through.
He gave
We had a
guy,
lead, but we're going to, he's got like this pitch count or
There-
this run limit.
Was it Saturday?
And it ends up fucking you every time.
Just wait.
Sorry.
The Yankees were close. Like, it was still a winnable game.
Yeah.
And he threw a guy out there in a low leverage situation just to try to keep it close. Yeah, no, that guy, that experiment failed.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. Yeah, and he ended up giving up 4 or 5 runs over the course of a couple of innings. Like, that's just what. And I'm not saying if Boone makes a better choice. I know our bullpen, especially the middle relief there, is a little sketchy. But he always seems to make the worst fucking decisions unless.
Well, here, wait. Did you just say he brought a guy in and then over at least multiple innings
Yes.
gave up 4 or 5 runs?
Correct.
See,
Being down a couple of runs. Like, he was
Yeah.
brought in to just, like, right the ship
Yeah,
so that
hold.
our offense could do our thing.
Yeah.
And then, no. He
See,
did
like,
not-
that's
he did
something
not
like
do that.
if you've given up, if you've increased the deficit by and you've already hit your 3 batter minimum. All right, we got to find somebody else. Like you don't ride that out
No, he does.
in the middle bullpen. Like that's again.
He's willing to do that. And his
Marmol
thought,
used to do that, and then
his
it
thought
was,
process
and he's
was,
not doing that this
well, I
season.
put a guy out there to see if he can manage.
Yeah,
But all I did was take us out of the game.
yeah.
Like, it was, at that point, it was not a winnable game. Unless, you do something crazy. But
Who's your pitching coach?
I don't even
Well, that's good that he's not. It's not right on the top of your.
No,
yeah.
it's not.
But here, wait. Didn't they give Boone an extension last year?
Yep. He made it to the finals. I mean, he made it to the
No,
World
I
Series.
know, but yeah.
But
But,
let's reward him with a 47-year extension.
Bob Brenly won a World Series. That doesn't make him a great manager.
Right. Ozzie won a fucking World Series with the White Sox.
Right.
You mean to tell me that guy's the manager of the century? No.
Oh man. No, wait. Don't worry about it.
Well, now you want
I know, but we can find that out later. We don't
Okay,
need to
sorry.
do dead air.
Okay, sorry. So, that's I like baseball. I like where we're going. The Tigers, I will say, are for real.
Yeah.
That
I
what they
think
did last year.
AL Central's for real
Yeah.
as of right now.
Well, right now the East has 3 teams in the playoffs at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
they always look like it, but then that last September.
Well, the next point I was going to make is that it will end with Detroit, Minnesota, and Cleveland in
yeah.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is how that'll work
Yeah.
out. I think the only reason Boston is ahead of them again is they won 2 or 3 against us, and I don't even know who's in third place. Tampa, but they go on 10-game runs and then lose 8 of 10.
Yeah.
So
Um,
we'll see with that. But
it doesn't matter because Boston's about to rip everybody.
hey man,
up.
number one prospect. You heard about him? Number one prospect in baseball. Here he comes.
He's wicked good.
Yes.
Um,
He got a mean slide of that guy.
You know what? I didn't realize this. Cardinals had the same winning percentage as the Astros.
Yeah.
We would be, if we were in the AL East, we'd be in first place.
And y'all are still in the last wild card spot, right? Or y'all keep flip-flopping around with...
I'm not looking at that right now. I was just looking at the basic standings. Yeah, we are now below, one game out with Philly being in that last spot.
Right.
Problem is, actually in this, is the NL West. That's the AL
Yeah, but remember...
Central.
San
But you're right,
Diego...
yeah. Always shits the bed.
Correct.
Although they do have the former Cardinal manager, Mike Shildt. Well, so right now the Dodgers are in first, but San Diego and San Francisco are both one game back.
And they're both behind...
Yeah.
Is it the Mets that have the best record in the NL?
Yes.
Right?
But the Cubs are right behind them with 40 wins.
And y'all are only 4 games behind the Cubs?
Correct.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we just hit June, so now we are in the dog.
And also, we just helped out San Diego and San Francisco by taking 2 or 3 from the Dodgers.
Yeah,
so.
I'm hoping you're gonna bury Toronto finally. We had a chance to put the dagger in Boston.
Well, I mean, being the most Cardinals thing in the world, like we show up against the Dodgers and then we shit the bed against the Blue Jays. That wouldn't upset me. It's like that's just the way it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, you flop your dick out on the table against one of the best, and you can't quite maintain in the next series.
Yeah, we
but
got
that's all
embarrassed
right.
by the Dodgers and then went on a
But see, the Dodgers
7-3 run over 10 games, and the Dodgers did
West
the
Coast
opposite.
teams' Achilles heel is you got to move them 2 time zones or more over.
Right.
Like so, when the Dodgers come and play you all should be able to sweep them.
Which really, well, and that's the key to the Dodgers is home field advantage in the playoffs.
Correct. Yeah.
Because you're right. If you win one game in LA,
God awful stadium.
oh, I hate that fucking turd. It's like a hemorrhoid.
Yeah. You mean the Poltergeist House of baseball parks?
Fuck that place.
Built on Latin American
Yeah,
bodies.
it's disgusting.
But the seats look like a sunset.
I hope that place catches fire and falls into the earth.
Yeah. We could get Corey Perry and Brad Marchand to merge
Right.
in Dodger Stadium.
You know what? They should have a fight. We should have a pay-per-view fight with both of those, and then have that earthquake that happened
Yeah.
in the A's.
Giant series, yeah.
It was Giants with
Yeah.
the Dodgers. Yeah,
Yeah.
have that happen, but
Yeah.
like Dodger Stadium. It gets sucked
The big
up.
one finally hits.
Yep. Yep. And as California's flowing away into the ocean, Dodger Stadium sinks to the
Yeah.
bottom. God, I
It is
hate them.
It is in a ravine, so.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the Red Sox will be in town when that happens.
Oh, we're not that lucky.
No, we are not.
You mean
We
the
are
greatest baseball team of all time?
No.
No, behind the Astros.
not. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is the most insufferable fan base for what little bit of winning they've done in their history.
I saw a clip on TikTok, and I was
Like
kind
they've
of,
done nothing like this much in the history of
Yeah.
baseball.
but I was a little pissed because they were interviewing people at Cardinals spring training, like over by the players' practice fields. I was like, oh, they must have done that like at the very end. Like I was there too early. But they were asking like, these dads and their kids, like, worst fan bases. And of course, like the first like 5 were like Cubs. And you're going like, okay, calm it down, St. Louis. But then people got in like Red Sox, Astros. There were several Yankees.
Well, of course, I am
The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.